All right. So it's been so long, and we've missed y'all. Miss every last one of y'all, man. What I want to say is, it's Saturday. You know what that means. It's about time for the best pregame show that has to do with Atlanta Falcons. And since we out the playoffs and we ain't got nothing else to do, we're gonna talk about other teams too. Basically, I'm gonna talk a whole lot of shit about other teams. It doesn't matter. Nobody's safe right now. But what we got the good fellas. What you want to call it, man? You want to call it a podcast? You want to call it a morning show? What you want? What you got, Rich? What you
No,
want to call it, man?
so far it could be anything you want it to be. Good fellas talk. You know, we just here with it. Bringing in good content, talking football.
See, you know what it is? That's what it is. It's good. It's good fellas. The good fellas. It doesn't even matter because we're adjustable. We be like water, man. We adjust to anything. Now, before we go, we got 10 eyes, 10 likes, 10 subscribers. It's been a long time, you guys. I missed every last one of y'all, man. Yo, Joseph Thornton, what's good, man? Noah Tyndall, I know that you were at work, but yo, tune us up. Hey, don't get in any
Yes,
trouble now
sir.
because I'm gonna sit there and vouch for you. All right, Mr. Motivator, we talk all the time, man. Thomas T-Bone, Rise Up Falcons, of course, man. We're gonna talk about that too. Jamarius 58 Gilliam. Yo, I like that 5'8", man. You might be our new middle linebacker. We gotta have to run a 3-4. You besides Rich, man. Asia Green, what's going on? Been a long time, man. Hope everything is
Asia,
good.
what up?
Um, yeah. So we already did our roll call. Rich, you gotta talk to him, man. It's been a long time, man. They might have forgot your face.
Absolutely. Nah, it's just good to see everybody, man. Back in the
Yeah.
comments, we live, getting into the off season, transition to the off season now. So it's a lot to cover. We got the playoffs still going on. Super Bowl is on its way. So,
Mm-hmm.
it's our time now. We can break all that stuff down. We'll do that in an orderly fashion. So definitely stay tuned for that because Goodfellas is coming.
Yeah. Thomas T-Bone, I want you to be a little bit more specific about those Matty Ice rumors because we hear things that's complete BS and we hear things that might be credible. So just to be a little bit more specific with your thing. But what we're gonna do is real quick, just I'm gonna have y'all talk about a moment with me real quick, man. A moment with Magnus. And I want to say real quick is I appreciate y'all throughout our transition going from the Red Clay Sports morning show, which is now going to be under our producer, Miss Maggie. And we're going to transition into, if you didn't see us the first time, our first show is the Goodfellas morning show. And we're going to be coming at you the same time. More than likely, if it's not 11, it's 12. But make sure that you subscribe to make sure that you stay abreast to everything that's going on. And we're going to be bringing you all kinds of like news, tips, all that. Nothing changes. We're still the Goodfellas. Nothing's going to change. The grind still continues. All right. Now, moving on. First order of business, man. Because I know we're going to talk about other things, man, but this is
Like that.
big. This is big, man. Ding dong, the witch is dead. Like, yo, it's over. Get your ass out of here, okay? Yo, we done. We
Yeah.
outlasted him. We outlasted him. It is over. The regime
Yeah.
is over. Tom Brady's gone. Sean Payton's gone. You need to be totally excited about this thing right now, man. Because 7-10, guess what? The division now is now. All those Matt Ryan haters, the division now is now. You can keep pounding and all that if you want. The division now is now.
He
Guess
said
what?
keep that.
Keep pounding. If you want to talk about Carolina Panthers, you can keep pounding. If you believe in Sam Darnold, you can keep pounding. If not, you can keep it pushing out the rim right now.
Mhm.
But Rich, I want you to comment on this, man. Sean Payton leaving New Orleans, man. What's your take on that?
Honestly, I was surprised. Like I found out from one of my boys, one of my best friends. He's a Giants fan. He came on the show previously before, and he first thing he said, he was like, "Rich, I know you hype. I know you hype. You know you excited." I'm not gonna lie, I am pretty hype. I am excited, but at the same time, um, I am sad in a way. I'll be honest with you. The reason why I feel like the rivalry won't be the same,
Mm-hmm.
being that Sean Payton carried the Saints organization for a long time. You know, he was that organization, and I also think him leaving is him wanting his flowers. You know, I think it's time he may feels like he needs his flowers, being how much of a big impact he made on the Saints organization, and that's how he's probably gonna go about it. But his creativity, you know, these matchups we've been going at it. I ain't gonna lie, we're gonna miss that for sure. But now the Saints is really gonna be the Aints for sure. Now being
Bro.
that he's gone, they got a big situation. They got to find their head coach. Now, is their GM general manager still there? He didn't step down yet.
The general manager's still there.
He's
So
still
far it
there.
looks like Byron Leftwich is interviewing for the drop down there.
Where? Oh, I
Byron
didn't see that
Leftwich.
yet.
Yeah.
That would be a good look. I ain't gonna lie, that would be a good look for him. I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind that.
Let me tell you something, man. If Byron Leftwich thinks at any point that this is going to be the same team next year, let me tell you something, man. There's $74 million in debt. My man looked at that bill and he was like, "Yo, 74 million? Yo, I'm gone." My man pulled oh my God, what was the chat? What was the name of our coach that just like upped and left like in the middle of the night?
Who, the running back
Ended up
coach?
with
No.
they ended up I think it was like Arkansas or something like that. Like he just upped and left in the middle of the night. Like he was here today and it was gone tomorrow. You remember who I'm talking about? He was supposed to the Falcons and whatnot. I forgot his name was like on the tip of my tongue. I totally forgot it though. But my man literally, Bobby Petrino. Thank you, Noah. Yeah, Bobby Petrino. Like he was literally here and he was like, "Yeah, yo, I'm out. Like Michael Vick is in jail. Like I didn't come over here for this. I didn't come over here to win with like backups
Deuces.
and
He hit him
whatnot.
with the deuces.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit him with the deuces and fade out like Thanos, man. That's it. Yo, he was like, "Yo, I'm gone. I'm gone." Yo, K Styles, what's up, brother? Yo, right now, the division is up for grabs, man. If that doesn't excite you, I don't know what will. You know, like we're in a cap situation right now, but we ain't 74 million over the cap though. So that Saints team that that you would probably would get up for or whatever like that, man, you might be if they don't do like some sort of creative, creative type of BS with that cap, we're going to be more in a way of that we could win this division. I don't want to say easily, but we're talking about Demario Davis makes some money on there, Marcus Lattimore makes some money on there, Marcus Williams makes some money on there, Ryan Ramchick makes some money on there, Teron Armstead makes some money on there, Michael Thomas makes some money on there, and Alvin Kamara makes a lot of dough on there. And I ain't even talk about the rest of the defensive lineup, So when you look at it, things are going to be a whole lot different on that team. I mean, if you want to strike up that we're going to go 2-0 against them, by all means, talk all the smack that you want. Because guess what? Sean Payton did the same thing to us with the choke move and all that. If you want to troll New Orleans Saints right now, you do that. Because we outlasted you. That's what we did. We outlasted you now. We got our coach. We got our GM. Yo, we're trending in the right direction, bro. What you got, Rich?
One thing, man, I would say about the Saints is that their quarterback position is still questionable when we really think about it. You have Jameis Winston's coming back off an injury, and I believe he's a free agent this year. They're gonna see whether or not if they want to keep him or not, or they may address a quarterback in a draft. Who knows how things plays out? They got Taysom Hill. We know Taysom Hill is not the premier quarterback to play 16 games unless you're gonna run the ball every week with him, and we all know how that plays out. He's gonna end up probably getting hurt or missing a few games at some point. So the Saints are in a bad situation right now. So is other teams too in our division. So
I mean, who's to say that Taysom Hill might be a quarterback unless that contract that he signed was very cap friendly? I mean, who's to say that he's going to be the quarterback next year? There's so many questions going into next year regarding the New Orleans Saints. Like they're going to have to do some serious wheeling and dealing right now. They're going to have to play a lot of Madden. They're going to have to turn the cap off and all that to do whatever they need to do to get up under that cap. I'm sorry, but they're in trouble. They're in some serious trouble. We're gonna go to the next one. We gotta address this, bro. We gotta address your boy, man. We got to touch your boy, Rich. All
Yeah.
right, we got to talk about it, man. This guy can't help himself. This man cannot help himself, but
I sleep with my
he
arms.
want to stay in the news. He's posting stats within like midway through the season. Now he's liking like oh, I think Calvin Ridley should would look good in the Miami Dolphins uniform. Okay, I'm gonna let you take it away on this one, man, because I'm a reserve. I'm gonna hit you with that Uno draw 4 wild card.
Yeah.
Later. I want you. You can handle that one right now, man. Go ahead, brother.
This off the top, but let's get to it. So, with Calvin Ridley's situation, we all know it's a big thing right now, and we know that once he confirms, or once the organization, the Falcons, confirm on the situation between the two, we'll be able to move on. So now, if there is a trade thing going on, and if you want to trade him to Miami, or if you want to trade him to Jacksonville, or a team that needs a wide receiver, and we receive a good compensation for it, if it's a second round pick, if it's another first round pick, no matter way how you want to lay it out there, we would have to win in that trade regardless of the matter. And we all know that Arthur Smith and Terry Fontenot are not going to have nobody in the organization if they don't want to be here. So, like I said, like when they first came, they wanted to keep Julio Jones. They wanted to keep Julio Jones technically, but Julio Jones wanted out. Okay, so we're going to ship you out. We're going to give you what you want. So if Calvin really wants that, then so be it. Now, there's another aspect to look at it, being that he said, does he really want to take time away from football because of a mental issue? So that's also a real thing. That's not necessarily a cop-out. There's players in the NFL that actually took time off and they actually came back and they played and had a successful season, and teams supported that. So this is not the first time. I also do think in the offseason, us moving forward during the time when we add free agents and also before the draft, the situation must be addressed. Like, I don't think it's fair to us and the fans and everybody else in the comments to leave us with a question mark whether or not we're keeping Calvin Ridley or not. I just don't think that's fair at all. Like, we deserve these answers, or if a statement from Ridley just to say, yo, I'm back and I'm good and be ready for the offseason, just so going into the draft and free agency, we don't have to, we still have to address the receiver position. But let's say with our first pick, I'm seeing mock drafts of us taking a receiver like that. I definitely do not want that, for sure. Do not want a receiver with that first pick at all. So,
yo, did you see what they had us drafting at 8? These fools over there, I think it was either SI.com or somebody, or Pro Football Focus. You saw they had us drafting at 8, right?
Yeah.
Was it Burks out of Arkansas?
Yeah, Arkansas. And I looked at his film. I'm not even gonna lie. I checked out his film. I'm like, let me see what these good dudes talking about here. I ain't gonna lie. The dude got talent though. I ain't gonna lie that. He got good ball skills. He's good at making them 50-50 catches. He could take a slant and crib it. He's type strong. He got some good weight on him. I think he's about maybe 215, something like that.
Yeah, he's prototypical.
Right. So that's a good size. I'm not even gonna lie, but we know we need to establish the trenches, and it's been years. It's been years. We haven't fully addressed it. So now we have a new identity. We have a new regime. So we know their approach is going to be best player available. So we'll address it that way.
Look, you see what Noah Tyndall said. Mel Kiper has us taking Malik Willis at 8. Like, we need to stop, man. Because they don't really have me go off today, man. I'm not going to address Mel Kiper. Dude from the Colts all those years ago, look it up, it's on YouTube. He was like, who the hell is Mel Kiper Jr.? That dude,
yeah.
I don't know who's more worse with their picks, him or Skip Bayless. I don't know.
Or McShay, too. McShay be off.
McShay, yeah, McShay. I could tolerate McShay more than I could tolerate if I had to take the lesser of two evils between Mel Kiper and Todd McShay. It's like, I'll take Todd McShay any day over Mel Kiper.
So the Malik Willis one, that's a Mel Kiper 2? Is it 2.0 or something? Or because I remember seeing his first one. Yeah, he might be at 8.0 right now. But I remember seeing his first one. I definitely seen him had us taking Derek Stingley, the cornerback from LSU.
See, but that might be BPA. You know what I'm saying? Like for those that don't know, best player available. You know, and if you
Right.
look at it, because let's just call a spade a spade. This is the second draft that Fontenot is going to be doing, and as you
Right.
can see, he took BPA at number 4 last year. And look how that worked out for us. Did we necessarily need a tight end? I mean, we had Hayden Hurst. Now, hindsight is 2020. Okay, hindsight is 2020. Could we have used the right tackle there? Yeah, we could have took Sewell if we wanted to. We could have took Micah Parsons, but he took, in his opinion, we could not miss on this freak of a talent at number 4. Damn all the history or whatever like that. It's like he took BPA.
Let me say something.
What's up, man?
So we obviously did not expect Calvin Ridley to take off from football, take off his mental break now, right? Now imagine if we did not take Pitts.
Well,
we'll probably be picking at number 1 or number 2 right now. We would be picking at 1 or 2 right now.
Yeah.
And we still got the talent, and I'm happy we were still in the top 8 because we played a great. I feel like we had a great season within this first regime. Other people have a lot of high expectations. They don't see the vision, but at the same time, they both said it, Terry Fontenot and Arthur Smith. You have to address the short-term goals as well as the long-term goals. We definitely addressed the short-term goals. How did we do that? By drafting some of these free agents to 1-year deals, by getting a top rookie, slowly bringing him into the offense while he's playing multiple positions. And he's seen, and we've seen that he's capable of doing that and playing at a high level. And he's only 21? He just turned 21 years old.
Yeah.
So let's be patient.
I don't even think he's grown into his body yet. Honestly.
Nah, he haven't.
He's 245, and like I said, that dude is lanky. Like he hasn't really grown into his body yet. Like this dude right now is going off of just raw talent. Like he really hasn't he don't understand the nuances of being in the NFL. And he's getting a whole offseason right now to take care of his body, get his bread, get his mind right and all that, because he already seen what getting your mind right can do to other people on his team and whatnot. He wants to be here. He's getting a good rapport with Matt Ryan, but the only thing I got to complain with Matt Ryan is I understand this dude is freakishly fast. You can't stop. You gotta stop throwing behind the dude, man.
Yeah.
It's like what he like Kyle Pitts is so fast is that Matt Ryan throws behind him. He's not used to that kind of speed at the tight end position.
I think with Matt Ryan, sometimes even since we had Julio, it's been like that. There's times where Matt Ryan always throws the ball in an area or type of accuracy where he knows it's safe for you to get the ball, even though it's slightly underthrown or not. But there's times where that's not needed. We need you to lead him all the way, hands reaching out, stiff arm, and he's going 6 to the end zone, which is sometimes we don't like sometimes about Matt Ryan. But he's still accurate at the end of the day. And I think with Pitts, once he gets more familiarized with him being aware of where he's at on the field, because there's times with those routes, with those corner routes that he run, or those curls or those hitches where he make a catch near the sideline area where he needs to just plant his foot and just get upfield. Typically, he's just been going out of bounds and stuff. So I guess once he gets more familiarized where he's at and know how to break tackles and get skinny in between tackles to break it and keep going, is going to be a big season for him next year.
I mean, he already knows how to like I said, he's going off a raw talent right now. We're already seeing that this dude can take the top off of the defense. You know what I'm saying? We're already seeing that he can stiff arm somebody into the sunken place, like what he did to Justin Poyer on the Bills. So we're seeing what this guy can do. And he was kind of just going about, the motions of going in the offense and whatnot. And this is also a tribute to Arthur Smith of not knowing, because he got totally blindsided. I'm going to give this guy a pass this year because he got totally blindsided because he came to the Atlanta Falcons with the thought that Julio Jones was going to be here, that Calvin Ridley was going to be here, and that when they signed, CP, when they signed Flash, this guy was probably salivating at the mouth with the type of schemes that he could draw up because you can't double team everybody. And when you drafted, Kyle Pitts, you could see exactly the potential of what this offense, could have been, but unfortunately, when it comes to when you're used to dealing with somebody, you know, it's like a long-term relationship, and you're used to dealing with somebody, and it's like you've been like Dan Quinn pretty much been here for a certain amount of a long length of time, longer than he needed to be, and certain players got used to things being done a certain way, and this is what happens, you know, like my man, you know, Julio, he wanted out. We didn't like it. You know, we felt like, you know, like the jilted girlfriend or whatever like that. It's like, hey, stuff like that happens, man. If you want to see, as Falcons fans, we have to, if we truly want to be respected by the league, it's like, look, if you don't want to be here, if you want to be here when we're like struggling, then don't be here when we're, you know, when we're almost at our apex. And going into next year, it looks like we're trending in the right direction, man. Terry Fontenot is gonna be digging up some stuff. Now, going back to the draft, is like, no, we're not gonna take Burks at number 8. I'm sorry, BPA. There's gonna be some edge guys there. Now, the way things might fall, because let's see, I don't know if Stingley's gonna be there because the Jets are gonna be picking in front of us, and the Jaguars are gonna be picking in front of us, and so I'm looking at it, and even like the Detroit Lions, and a lot of those teams might need a corner. But what I can say is that at 8, you're going to get your pick at edge. You know what I'm saying? It might be, I honestly think Hutchinson is going to be there at 8. And Hutchinson reminds me a lot of Patrick Kearney, man. I don't know how you feel about him, but he reminds me a lot of like a Patrick Kearney type of
Yeah, he has a great motor when you watch Hutchinson, his tape. Like he has a relentless motor at that. Like he does not give up on plays, and even though when it's a big third down and a ball is thrown to the flats, like he's planting his foot and he is sprinting behind, try to make a tackle from behind, and that's what you want to see, and that's the type of caliber of players that you want in your defense. Dean Pease emphasized it in the interviews, like we lacked, and we was at least worse in the league in sacks and in pressures, and you cannot rely on blitzing to put pressure on the quarterback. You just won't win that way. That's not an effective defense. So we haven't addressed the trenches position in a long time, and I think it's definitely that time, and we honestly need to give Dean Pease all the pieces that he needs, honestly, for us to be even to be in the playoffs next year. Dean Pease need to get all his pieces. If we really want this ball to get rolling as fast as we can, we definitely need to address all the pieces. Reason being, Arthur Smith showed what he can do with an average offense.
Yeah.
With an average offense.
An average offense.
With just Kyle Pitts, being that Ridley was there. So now, once we find out, once Ridley is coming back, or we know what we want to do offensively, we get some weapons. We got Cordell Patterson. We could make things happen with an average offense, to be honest with you. But when you have that defense to link with that offense, we've seen the Cowboys do it, even though they lost in the first round. Like, because last year in the draft, the Cowboys, all their picks was defensive players. It's panned out to work out for them a little bit. So let's see what we do.
I think and this goes back to our initial topic here, because chat's going crazy with the type of things that they're saying. I appreciate y'all, because we're going to address some of these right now. The rumors of Calvin Ridley to Miami. Okay, now this is what I would do, and I'm gonna give you Rich, and I'm gonna give the chat, a couple of scenarios. Now, the Giants, I know there's some people that were saying like you trade them to the Giants, but they have too many. First of all, they're in cap hell as well. Number one. Number two is like they already have like some wide receivers there, and they need to see exactly how that kid Kadarius Toney is going to play out. And then you also got Galladay, and they also got what's the name doing the slot? Forgot his name, but that's what happens when you deal with
Sterling or something like that.
Sterling Shepard. Yeah. Now, moving on from that though, so I don't think that's going to work. What could make sense is Philly, because as you've seen, like when Philly got onto the same field with the Tampa Bay Bucks, Devontae Smith couldn't really do anything, man. Like he couldn't do it all by himself. And they got Dallas Goedert and whatnot, but they need some more playmakers on that team. That makes some sense to actually trade him for a number one. I don't care what anybody say. You can get a number one for Slide. Like he's already like an established talent.
Right.
He's just getting into the prime of his career. He's not necessarily injury prone. And another thing is, like you may have to pay him after this year, but Slide is a number one in certain, offensive schemes. And I think Philly makes a lot of sense, especially for like a first round pick.
Right.
The fact that Philly has like an abundance of picks and 2 in the first round, and they're probably going to be looking at playmaker, as like one of their first round picks. So why not just call the Falcons and say like, "Yo, we'll trade you one of our ones for Slide,"
Yeah, right. Absolutely. I'm not taking anything less than the first round, I believe. Like, even with the Julio situation, I don't care if he was old or not. He proved he was worth the second round pick, but I didn't care. I wanted the first
We
round out of
fleeced
that.
them. We fleeced the
Anyway.
Titans,
So
bro.
I still take the second round. But with Ridley, we have to get a first round for that.
Dude, we got a second round for Sanu.
Yeah.
Remember when
Yeah.
we traded Sanu
Oh
to
yeah,
the
yeah,
Bengals?
to the
We got a
Patriots.
second
Yeah.
round for him,
Yeah,
and he
that was good.
was old. So I said,
Yeah.
I tweeted, I was like, yo, there's always a GM that believes like they're one playmaker or one person away from at least competing in their division and making like that move. There's always P.T. Barnum said this. There's a sucker born every minute. There's a lot of sucker GMs that's in the NFL. Not everybody there is smart. If you work for a living, just because somebody got a degree at your job doesn't necessarily make them smart, okay? There's a lot of idiots in the NFL. You can tell, okay? Slide Ridley is worth a first round. It doesn't matter who you go to. And being the fact that the teams that we mentioned have multiple first round picks, and you don't know exactly how some of these wide receivers will pan out, you have to go with a guaranteed thing. Slide is a guaranteed thing, okay? You know exactly what he's capable of. Why not?
Right. Like this, him putting on that stunt, right, cause automatic speculation. Okay, so this would get certain teams to call or to see what's really going on, right? But at the end of the day, it's in house. So Terry Fontenot and Arthur Smith really know what's going on. So if it's a really mental thing, it's a really mental thing. And I want to put an end to the rumor stuff here. If it's not confirmed for a team calling about Calvin Ridley, if it's not from Ian Rappaport or Adam Schefter, it's no need to cause a rumor or bring up certain things that can possibly happen. All right, let's just put an end to that. If it's not confirmed, if a team calling regarding Calvin Ridley, just stop with the rumors. All right, let's just make some sense here of certain things that's happening. All right, and I do think it also could really be a serious mental thing for him, and he just really need time off, need the season off. So
yeah, but you know
that's how
how
you gotta
like
look at it.
people are. It's like when there's smoke, there's
Yeah,
fire.
I know.
So I think the confirmation what was really embarrassing for us as well as the actual Atlanta Falcons franchise was that Julio actually got on national TV, with Shannon Sharp and basically confirmed it. Like there was like a little bit of like, smoke around there, and then Julio was like, "All be damned, like the season's about to begin. I got to get up out of here." And he confirmed it on national TV. Now, Slide is going about it differently. Now, the reason why Arthur Smith and Terry Fontenot hasn't said anything is because that's to keep his trade value high. Because I guarantee they're going to trade him. It's just the fact that we can't say what's necessarily wrong with him, if there's anything wrong with him, or he just needs to take time away from the team or whatever like that.
Yeah,
but I'm not going to disparage your name, because when it comes down to it, it's like the NFL can basically wipe you off our books, for not playing last year and living up to your contractual obligations. And then two is that we could trade you behind somewhere, and we won't say anything. That's a conversation between the GM, Terry Fontenot, and the GM who decides to pick up the phone and call, which I believe is probably going to be Philadelphia. Now, if he ends up saying, like, look, if you want to go to Miami, fine. You can go to the AFC. We'll never see you again, okay? If I'm going to trade him to the AFC, if I'm going to trade him to Miami, this is who I would want, okay? It's going to take a little bit of, financial moving around and stuff like that. Stingley, I don't think Stingley's going to be there at 8, okay? But we can address edge at 8. If we trade Slide to Miami, I want Xavier Howard. because I want to pair him up with AJ, and it's going to be just straight clamps at there. Now at 8, you got flexibility at 8. If like what some people said, I believe Maurice Amy said that the best player on the board might be Kyle Hamilton out of Notre Dame. If you want to go that way, they're saying that there's a lot of defensive line
regardless,
stuff like that.
we're at a great spot at number 8,
Yeah,
and there's plenty of different things that we can do, primarily on the defensive side of the ball. Like you said, there's plenty of edge rushes. I believe the kid from what's his name, Ajobo, I think he's gonna be there.
Yeah, David Ajobo from Michigan. Yeah,
he
could be there.
He's definitely gonna be there at 8. There's a chance, like I've seen Kyle Hamilton, he could definitely be available. He's a type of piece where you can put him anywhere in the secondary, but I mainly see him also perfecting the slot position for some reason, even though it is one of the main difficult positions in DMP's defense, and it sets the tone for everything. But I could definitely see him being all over the field for us if he's there at number 8.
This is why I would say why he looked so DMPs looked so dejected when Isaiah Oliver went down. I believe that we're gonna re-sign Isaiah Oliver because I swear to God DMPs is gonna want him back. DMPs, and this is why I had an issue with Debo, okay? And I know me and Matt might kind of differ on this, is because DMPs specifically throughout the year has spoken about the guys that he liked, and he liked core guys. Now, the reason why I say this is the reason why that Link Martindale decided to up and leave, like the Baltimore Ravens and whatnot, because they didn't get his guys. After a while, that Baltimore defense did not look the same. Okay, there's one thing that's associated with Baltimore, and that's defense. And after a while, it just did not look the same. The corners did not look the same. The linebackers did not look the same.
Yeah,
you see that, right? Like it wasn't his guys. It was just like it was a bunch of flash in the pan type of guys. It wasn't like grinders that he was used to, right? So having said that, it's like you got to get even though like you want to get your offensive guys, like you want to get like Arthur Smith his guys as well, but you also want to get your defensive coordinator guys that fits his scheme. And he mentioned 4 names throughout the year. Okay, Isaiah Oliver. Okay, Foye Oluokun. Okay, Grady Jarrett. And AJ Terrell. Those are his 4 guys. Okay, he has 4 core guys that he needs. And it's like if I get these guys and put some pieces around him, I can win with that. I see what these guys can do when I put them in a position to make plays. I see what they can do. Specifically, what you hit the nail on the head, brother, when you said the slot in his type of scheme and that multiple scheme is of paramount. You have to know exactly what you're doing. And Isaiah Oliver was finally thriving in that. And it's unfortunate that he tore his knee up. He will be back next season, and I will sign him to a team-friendly deal because he's not going to garner any kind of interest outside of like Atlanta. So we can bring him back, and then that will bring a little bit more of a comfort level. We can extend Grady Jarrett, let him retire a Falcon, extend him. That's going to alleviate some cap space as well. We're going to have to be able to re-sign Foye. And then CP is like our next guy. But if you get those 4 guys taken care of in his defense, he can win. Okay? Now, if you decide, because Richie Grant is more than likely going to be our safety because Isaiah Oliver is going to be our slot. Richie Grant is going to be, I say, put him at strong safety, or you can move him around if you want to. If you decide to take Kyle Hamilton, if you do not know what this guy can do, this dude reminds me a lot of Justin Simmons. Okay? He reminds me a lot of that guy. Like, the top safeties in the NFL, like a Justin Poyer, a Justin Simmons, like guys like that.
He will have that year 1 impact for sure. The same way, like
he's big too.
The same way, like I was big on the Antoine Winfield, the safety out of Tampa. He had an amazing rookie year when they won. And if you look at his college film at Minnesota, his film is textbook. It's like perfect angles when they're tackling. You don't see no missed tackles. It's clean. Playing the ball, the ball hawk. You could see the IQ there in a great safety, and you see that in Kyle Hamilton for sure. When you was talking about re-signing certain guys free agency, we're gonna continue the same process like what we did last year. All the players are gonna get reevaluated. So mainly the players who we sign in free agency. A lot of these guys are on 1-year deals. The Eric Harris, the Ron Harmons, the Brandon Copeland. I could go on and on. So many guys, right? So once we address to see who's leaving and who we're gonna sign in free agency, then we will have more of a sight on where we're leading into the draft. I think we got to do a lot of recruiting as well. Like I seen that Calais Campbell is going to be a free agent, and I think even though he's a little old and if he stays healthy and stuff, I think he fits. He'll be a good attribute to our D line to line him up against Grady Jarrett. But who knows if we could get Jordan Davis is at 8. It's like it's just so many things bringing in. But like I don't want to mess up to what I'm saying, but pretty much what I'm saying, we address free agency first. Once we address free agency and we figure out who we're letting go and who we're keeping, then we look towards the draft, and then we have a better idea on where we're gonna pick at 8. You get what I'm saying?
I put it like this, bro. One thing, not only do I think Jordan Davis is going to be there at 8, I think Jordan Davis is going to be there at 40. I'm telling you right now.
No way. Nah, Davis gets picked in the first round. I'm sorry. You can't pick in the first round.
Well,
no way.
I looked at it both ways. Okay? Now, the Steelers are probably going to be aggressive and try to trade up because Ben Roethlisberger retired. If he did not retire, I believe that they probably would have went nose and got Jordan Davis. But now, being the fact that Ben Roethlisberger they kind of forced his hand. So now they have to address quarterback in some sort of way. If Malik Willis happens to slide, okay, I think he goes there. Okay, to Pittsburgh towards like the end of the round. Okay. Everything else they pretty much sold on. I think they got the right type of pieces around them. So I think they address corner later, but I think they get their quarterback like in the first round, and it might be Malik Willis or one of these other quarterbacks. That's why I believe Jordan. And I'm only speaking not on behalf of the talent, okay? Because I know what Jordan Davis can bring. I'm thinking of, like I said, there's a lot of idiotic GMs out there that will look at Jordan Davis and they will say that he's just a 2-down player. And if any of these GMs are watching right now, I'm telling you right now that he's a 2-down player. Let him slide to Atlanta. Let him slide to Atlanta because they look at him, he's like 330, maybe 340 pounds. He's a nose tackle. He's not going to he's not going to have the stamina to hold up. Blah, 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 blah. They're going to out-talk themselves, and then Jordan Davis will slide. Okay? From my mouth to God's ears. I'm just saying that I think he might be there at 40. We have to address edge at 8. Okay? And this is contingent upon if slide happens to be traded to Philadelphia for a first round, then you could get him with that. You can get Jordan Davis with that second first round pick, but you have to address edge, or you get Kyle Hamilton at 8. If he's sitting there, okay, David Ajabo, Aiden Hutchinson, if Kayvon Thibodeau happens to slide, somebody, one of these guys that's dynamic has to be addressed at 8. Okay, we can't go wide receiver or nothing like that. That is not going to solve our problems. As you can see, when we go first round with wide receivers, they don't last long, okay? They went out some way or another. They don't last long anymore.
We're going defense. There's no way we don't. We're going defense. Yeah. We have to.
We're going defense, but I think we have to address edge because poor Grady Jarrett is getting triple teamed, man. He's getting triple teamed, and which means that guys like Steven Means, Ogundeji, guys like that are not getting any pressure, and they're not beating one-on-one. Grady Jarrett's getting triple teamed, and that means that you can't get past like one-on-one. All right, that means we got to do what we got to do, bro. Okay, but that's what I believe. I believe that Jordan Davis sides because of that particular situation. That's all. I'm speaking it into existence. Okay, we know that he's a first-round talent.
Right.
I'm speaking into existence, brother.
We're sitting good. Wait, our second round pick is
it's like 40 and 59, I think. That's
really? I thought it was at least probably 36 or something like that.
Bro, if it's 36,
if I'm not mistaken, last time I checked, I swear I think it was 36.
If it's that, then we can use that second
Or
round pick to
35,
trade back.
one of them, something like that.
Then we could trade back into the first round. You could take Jordan Davis at the end of the first round. So you could address edge and you can address your nose all within like the first 32 picks.
Yeah, I'm glad that you brought that up because I wanted to see if Terry Fontenot would be able to, if he wants to trade up or if he trades back. Because I believe we stayed put last year everywhere we picked at. I don't think we made any moves. So
No.
we're gonna see this year if they be aggressive and see if they would take any picks if they want to get pushed back later in the draft. So we'll see. I know Terry Fontenot seen it before because I never forgot when the Saints moved up so many spots to get Davenport. I don't know if you remember that. They moved up a lot of spots to get Davenport. And I know Terry Fontenot seen that. He was right next to homeboy when he made that. So it was like, we'll see what he does this year.
I mean, if we're gonna do that, we're gonna have to trade up to get that guy. Okay, where there is no doubt when we draft him, it's like, yeah, that's our guy. That's that dude. That's that dude that's going to give us like 10 plus sacks, like per year. It's going to have to be that dude.
If we're trading up, it's Thibodeau. I'm guarantee you, I'm stamping that. It's definitely one Thibodeau because if you see what Thibodeau could do, if you've seen it when he's healthy and you've seen his film, like besides his get off and his bend and his natural talent and raw ability, he's also great in space. He is good in space, but he can drop in the flats and he can make an open field tackle. And we've seen in Dean Pease defense, there's times he drops the outside linebacker into the flat sometimes just to even confuse the quarterback. And when we play a little cover 2 or something like that, and they'll come up and make the tackle. We've seen Ogundeji do it a few times here and there. Some players are able to do it, but I've seen Thibodeau, he's good in open space.
So I know you spoke about Thibodeau a lot. I think that's your guy.
Yeah, but I'm trying to be realistic here, but because 8 is still a good pick, you know what I mean? So it's like even though if we don't move up to get him, or if we've seen that he's sliding back to us, then there's a chance you may move up if he's if he's falling back a little bit, like we said, Ojabo's gonna be there. Like he's good too. He's very good. I like him. So
I'm telling you right now, man. Like I'm just gonna be spitballing here, okay? So I'm just gonna just be okay. So we need some sort of running back right now, and I'm looking at it like this. Do you draft a running back, right? Like this entire draft. Like, do you draft a running back, or would you trade one of your picks to a team that has a dynamic backup? That can be like your number one. That's why Arthur Smith had King Henry when he was in Tennessee, right? There's a particular guy that I like outside of Deontay Foreman because I think we could get him. We can get him in free agency, and I think we actually had him on our practice squad. And unfortunately, when you're on the practice squad, like anybody can pretty much take you. We had him on the practice squad because he was getting up to speed with the playbook. I think Deontay Foreman is the type of running back that Arthur Smith likes. Okay, personally speaking, I like AJ Dillon. I also like Kareem Hunt. I do too. And would be willing to part with any one of those guys. I don't know, but. What I will say is like I like instead of see the splash cast. He said he's like I knew you was going AJ Dillon, that's my guy. I like a dude like that 6'1", 247 pounds that got wiggle and could run you over. That's like a 20 plus carry type of dude. We see what he can do. Green Bay might be in a rebuilding process because Aaron Rodgers might be out of there. His offensive coordinator is in Denver. Okay. Well, the Splashcast said this, and I'm gonna ask you something on this. You think the Giants will get rid of Barkley for a Ridley type of trade?
Absolutely not. I don't think.
Do you think the Giants are sold on Barkley? I don't think they are.
Yeah, no, I think they are. I think if it was up to Saquon, he would not play. He would even play this season. Honestly, I think he just had to play, just to be there for his team, just to show, he's a little healthy and stuff. You don't want him sitting out a whole another year again and stuff like that. I was even fortunate. I was fortunate enough to meet Saquon Barkley on my birthday. So,
Oh wow.
that was lit. Yeah, man. I got a picture with him and all that. I was chopping it up a little bit. And, he was limping when I seen him. I
Oh
just wish him good luck. Stay healthy. But he ended up coming back. No, he wasn't healthy. He wasn't healthy fully this season. And he didn't even have an offensive line. And I think now, and I told my boy that's a Giants fan, I'm like, they got Brian Daboll right now. And I think Brian Daboll, their running game will definitely be a lot better compared to last year, being that they have Brian DeBall. I think once they figure out their offensive line situation, they had a lot of injuries as well. Giants had a lot of injuries, and their offensive line was pretty much terrible too. A little probably worse than ours, honestly. And we were complaining about our O line, Jalen Mayfield and Hennessy. So the Giants had got it bad. So I think the Giants, I see them. There's a chance they could go both O-line in this draft because I think they got 4 and 7 or something like that. And we're picking right after them. So who knows what they will do? If I was them, I would
I think they're
secure
gonna
that
get
offensive
dude
line.
from Alabama. They're gonna go linebacker in one of those two.
They
I
they,
think
they
they
could
go
go
linebacker
linebacker
one.
or they could get Kyle Hamilton. That's what I said because Peppers is a free agent.
Peppers is a
We'll
free
see.
agent, but
Yeah, we'll see
I
what they
think
do.
that they're gonna get one of those tackles that's gonna be available there. They're gonna
Now
get
they're
one of them
definitely they're
tackles.
definitely they're definitely getting
Yeah,
an offensive lineman for sure.
yeah. And they could
So
get Dean. They could get N'Kobe Dean from
yeah,
Georgia.
but it'll probably be the second pick, not the first one, not the first one.
No, I
And
think the first one they go tackle.
yeah,
Yeah,
definitely
like
tackle.
Neil or something like that. I think they go
Yeah,
tackle with that. Yeah,
and I know you see Mark Drafts when they'll be pick number one. So let's not ignore that either.
yeah,
When guys being sliding back a little bit, but
yeah.
back to Brian Daboll a little bit. Like we see what he was able to do in Buffalo with Josh Allen and with the running back Stingley and stuff. They
Hmm.
was able to do a lot with that. So with a
Yeah,
premier guy like Saquon Barkley, and you design a good running game,
yeah.
that's
I mean,
I
they
think
really
they'll
have
be
to be
better.
sold on Daniel Jones because
Yeah, they are. The GM,
I
the
mean,
GM confirmed it, even though he has no choice but to say
yeah,
something like that, being that it's your first hire as a GM, so you can't say
yeah,
nothing bad about quarterback coming in. But we
yeah.
got some good running backs for
I
sure.
mean, they don't have any choice because they're cash strapped, so they have to, re-sign him. They're going to have to.
Hmm.
There is no other choice unless you're going to bring in, how this man keeps getting chances after chances after chances is because, and I'm talking about Ryan Fitzpatrick, is because the lack of talent that's at the quarterback position, and that's why I keep telling people when they're saying like, oh, we need to go quarterbacks or whatever like that, like we need to get a quarterback, we got to get Matt Ryan out of here. You know how hard it is to get even like a serviceable running back. I mean, a serviceable
Hmm.
quarterback. Look at the Washington football team. Look at the New York Jets. Look at the New York Giants. Like teams that's just they're waiting. Look at the Jacksonville Jaguars. They didn't have a good quarterback since Mark
Hmm.
Brunell.
Right.
you
I
know?
want to know. I want to know, Mag, and
Yes.
anybody else in the comments. Do you know about Zakondre White, the running back from South Carolina? If you don't see this kid's film, he is a
You was
dog.
talking about that. You was
I was
talking
talking
about
about
that.
that in chat. If you didn't
Yeah.
see his film from the running back from South Carolina, Zakondre White, watch that film. Watch that tape. He's a running back. Who knows he'll be available in the second round, or who knows when draft stock once the combine come up, he may move up the draft board. But most likely running backs are all going in the second round and
I
third
mean,
round and
with him
stuff like
and
that.
Kenneth Walker,
Right.
Brees Hall, I think, Brees Hall.
Yeah.
Yeah, like those guys are gonna go because, but if you talk about Zakondre White, if he slides to like the third round or fourth, just because,
Yeah, we're
I
taking him.
would
Trust me.
gladly pull the trigger. I would
Yeah.
gladly pull the trigger on him and let him be my day one running back. If things don't run out, if things don't pan out with Flash. See, Noah
Hmm.
said the same thing. Like he said, like Zakondre White is going about the third or fourth round.
And then
yeah.
my fault. Finish your
No,
sentence.
no,
And then I'll
no,
say.
no, no. I basically agree with Noah that he's going to go in the third or fourth round, pull the trigger right there. You know.
Okay. And I remember you brought up the linebacker Dean from Georgia. I'm sold on Devin Lloyd, man, and I think Devin Lloyd
Yes.
from Utah,
yes.
he's better. I feel like he's better
Yes.
than Dean, in my opinion.
He's a tackling machine, man. That's
And my eyes is like, whoa. And then the
Yeah.
Giants really need a linebacker for sure. So
Yeah, but you know, like I said, like a lot of these GMs are like SEC biased, and they'll just pick guys from like the SEC just because they believe that they're just better. But there's some guys out there, like I said, you know, Noah put it out there, Zakondre, at least said Zakondre White. They said the workhorse from BYU. Like there's some guys out there, you know, that could play some ball now. And the Splashcast said, shout out to the Splashcast, man. Arthur Smith needs 2 running backs to run an efficient offense. You know,
absolutely.
because there's no King Henry that's like falling out the trees and whatnot. You know,
I think any offense, period, in the NFL, you needed two backs, two premier backs. Like obviously, we had it in 2016 with Tevin Coleman and Devontae Freeman. You know, so we had it once upon a time. So,
and I will also say that we have honestly, I know it's going to probably cost us, but I don't think it's going to cost us a lot if we do like prior to the June 1st deadline. You got to get Tiptoe Burglar out of here, man. Like the Tiptoe Burglar, if those that's new to the channel, that's new to the Goodfellas morning show, the Tiptoe Burglar is known as Mike Davis. We don't call him Mike Davis, okay? For all those fumbles that he had in that last game of the season, his name is the Tiptoe Burglar, okay? The Tiptoe Burglar. We have to get him out of here. We need a guy that's going to plant his foot and go. That's what CP does. We need somebody else like that. I don't know if we're going to keep Quadri because Quadri is not their guy. Okay, I know they put him in there just because or whatever, but you wouldn't sign Deontay Foreman to your practice squad if you did not believe, you know, that Quadri Olsen was your guy. You know, so I think that they're probably going to sign him in the offseason, but we're gonna move on to the next topic. Actually, I want to talk about the topic you came up with, bro. Breakout candidate for year 2.
wow,
We got a lot of nominees for this one, man. But who do you think? And chat, I want y'all in on this too. Who do y'all think? Honestly, we're gonna get back to the draft, but who do y'all think honestly is the breakout candidate for year 2? That's one that's gonna have like the AJ Terrell jump. Rich, I'll leave it up to you, man.
right. And by the way, this could be a player offensively or defensively, just within the scheme. I think a breakout candidate, probably not a surprise to most people, is Matt Ryan. The reason why I say Matt Ryan is because Matt Ryan always shown to prove in year 2 within any offense that he's worked in, he always excelled at it. You know, he always perfected it. You know, we've seen what he can do. He was able to manage an average offense with Arthur Smith just in year 1 alone. And I think now, once you're in year 2, you have more familiarity with the verbiage, communication, knowing the routes, and this offseason is going to be big. Part of the offseason with players is studying the playbook. If people don't know, like, you know, I already had it. Yeah, I already know the playbook now, and I have the playbook. I have access to it. So now I'm going to dive even deeper into it, you know, and that's how we're able to do more within the offense. I know a lot of people wanted us to do screens and flashy plays. I'm one of them too. I ain't gonna lie about that. Even though we waited 16 weeks to see a tight end screen from Kyle Pitts, you know, but that's sad. But you know, going into year 2 with Matt Ryan, the offense we'll be able to do a lot more on offense. We'll be more effective and we'll be more dangerous as well once we add more weapons to that. So I definitely can't go wrong with Matt Ryan in year 2.
You have anybody else? I mean, it doesn't have to be like one. You know, I know
Right,
you got some other guys, man.
So let's get a play on the defensive side. So on the defensive side, you can't go wrong. We gotta go with Fourier, man. Gotta go with Fourier.
Ooh, so you think he get better than what he was this year?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, because he is the communicator within the defense. He is the guy that has the green dot. You know, a lot of people didn't understand why Debo wasn't making as plays as he used to as much because he's out of the middle now. Debo's playing the will, and Foye is playing the mic. So he's shown to make a lot more plays in the middle. He has the body type and build to take on those blocks, to make those tackles. He was every play you seen him running from sideline to sideline, and he made some clutch plays for us in the red zone, which is a crucial area. And I think with him, he's a guy from Yale, obviously. So it's like he's a very smart dude. So now he's gonna even be playing faster now. He's gonna play a lot faster now. So once you have an idea on what you're doing, there's no thinking being involved. All you're doing is just reacting and just playing ball. That's it.
Yo, I got a few, so I'm just gonna throw it out there, okay? On God, man, I mean, on offense, it could be. I mean, I don't want to take the safe way out because I know you said Matt, and I know what Ice can do. I know what Ice can do, and the thing is, like, he's done this, you know, under multiple offensive coordinators from that the year 1 to year 2 jump.
Yeah,
like,
you always have that jump. You always have that jump.
Yeah, like they always skyrocket like year 1 to year 2. When he has like a full off season to really like digest the playbook and whatnot, like Matt Ryan always like his numbers always go through the roof. Nah, Splashcast. We don't talk about Jalen Mayfield yet, man. But and this is all depending on the draft. And I'm gonna say this all really depends on the draft. Now, and if we resign, damn man, like you made this hard. You made this really hard. Cause I'm thinking maybe like Matt Hennessy. I'm thinking maybe Matt Hennessy, but maybe Russell Gage. You know, if we resign him, I can see like a Russell Gage really kind of taking off in this system, like knowing where he needs to be and whatnot. But if I see somebody at a year 1 to year 2 jump, my on offense is not going to be offensive line because that thing is going to be a lot of turnover with that. I'm looking at, I call him Weapon X. Okay, so y'all can call him Weapon X. It's Kyle Pitts.
Yep.
And that's scary. Okay, that's scary. Like someone in his rookie year to do what he did, and Arthur Smith understanding like he can actually, I can line him up in the slot. I can line him up at the X. I can line him up at the Z. You know, knowing what Arthur Smith could do with somebody like that. If you do not understand what this guy could do with tight ends, look at Delaney Walker and Jonnu Smith. Okay. This dude knows what to do with offensive weapons that he has. And that's exactly why I call this dude Weapon X. He is a weapon. And now that he understands he can actually have a full offseason, like I said earlier, if you missed it, he's going to have a full offseason to concentrate on just being a better person, concentrate on drops. You know, he had a few drops here and there, not a lot, you know, but also you see what happened when Matt Ryan took, and he likes to take his tight ends, to like a little secluded area. He likes to get like a
work on
with them. And you see what happened, what that did with Hooper, what that did with Hurst last year, and give Matt Ryan some rapport because he loves tight ends. If Matt Ryan gets a serious rapport with Kyle Pitts, yeah, GG's, man. Good game. Good luck with that. Okay, GG's, bro. Yeah. Thank you, Gilliam. Yeah, Weapon X. That's his name. Okay, I come up with names for all these guys. Okay. That's his name, Weapon X. All right. Defensively, God, man, you came up with a really good ass question, bro.
Yeah.
You came up with a real good question. We already seen what AJ could do, the jump. Fourier is gonna do a hell of a jump, but damn, like some people are saying Richie Grant, and I kind of agree with that.
Yeah, we got Michael Walker. We got Walker. We got Ogundeji. Yes. Appreciate you guys in the chat, man. You guys are all part of this. We all won here. So yeah, you could take any of those too, man. They helping us out.
Yo, But Michael Walker, when he comes in, he just makes plays, man. Like he
Yeah,
comes in,
he could
like
have a big jump.
he's an impact player, and I think that they're kind of cheating him by keeping him on the sidelines a little too much. So I think that we're gonna have like Darren Bates and Ellerby, I think that's his name, back
Hmm.
him up, and they're gonna move him up the. He deserves to be. He deserves to be on the field at least full time, man. That guy comes in, he just makes plays all over the freaking field. Like stop,
Right.
don't stunt this dude's growth, man. But God, it could be Richie Grant, and again, this all depends. This really all depends on how we do and what we do in the draft. If we resign, and nobody has said this, if we resign, and I don't think, let me preface my statement by saying this: if we do not get Jordan Davis, Anthony Rush, okay,
Hmm.
I'm gonna say Anthony Rush. If we do not get Jordan Davis, if we resign Anthony Rush as our nose, I can see him doing some damage at that position.
Hmm. Hmm.
The next year. But yeah, I hope I
Yeah,
answered
it's
your
not
question,
bad.
man. But that was a
Nah,
tough
nah, you
question, bro.
did, you did, and everybody else. I know we've seen a lot of defensive guys.
Hmm.
With Markel Walker, there's a lot of good some names. I wish I was able to see Markel Walker in the outside linebacker position a little bit more.
Hmm.
I know he
Hmm.
did an amazing job at inside at the
Hmm.
Mike or the Will. He was actually playing both, and he was prepared to play both. You seen the pick six what he did with Cam Newton. He cribbed that right when he had
Yep.
a baby. It was perfect time for him.
Yeah, yeah.
And because I know they always said about Michael Walker had the ability to rush the passer, and there's not a time we was able to see him blitz from the edge. At times, from what I can recall, from what I've seen, I would want to see that more, just to see if he's capable of doing it. But if they probably tried it out and it seemed like it didn't work, then it didn't work. So I guess he probably wasn't as good at it. I guess being
Yeah.
that they didn't do it. When we talk about Kyle Pitts now, and everybody here could agree with me on this worldwide as a Falcon fan here. Um, our big to add on to that, our biggest expectation for Kyle Pitts is the touchdowns in the red zone, and which is why we drafted him.
Hmm.
I know I was one of those people who had him on my fantasy, you know,
Yeah, I
the
did too.
expectations, we had to set real high for Kyle Pitts, and he only had one touchdown this season. Don't get it
Hmm.
twisted. I'm not knocking him at all. He is the future, but we drafted him for a specific reason, and that was to score touchdowns. And I'm
Hmm.
keeping it real now. That's me being 100%. I'm from Brooklyn, and my son Kev, we from Queens. We from Queens. Representing. We represent right now. I'm keeping it a stack. I'm keeping it 100 right now. You know what I mean? So the biggest jump for that is definitely him scoring some touchdowns and
Hmm.
Arthur Smith being creative with that in the red zone. So yeah, that's all I want to say with
There's
that.
nobody that could guard him in the red zone. This dude is
For him to
damn
have
near
one
like six
touchdown
six
was
six seven, like
yeah,
245 pounds.
yeah.
Like there's not a corner out there that's physical enough, especially with the way the NFL rules are, where you can't barely touch anybody. That could be able to guard him.
Yeah.
But again, just like you said, to have and I'm actually going to comment on CK22.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we just don't have the receiving threat outside of him. But when you see teams
Good
like
point.
New England, how they could just scheme Gronk open, and it's like you knew the ball was going to him, and yet it's like you still can't stop him. We see teams that have like a just one threat, just one, and we could see that they scheme ways to get these people open. Just like
Hmm.
that the ball is going to go to Devontae Adams. You
Yep.
know it.
Hmm.
And it's like they still can't stop it. They still single him up for whatever reason we don't know. But yeah, it's like you still know where the ball is going to. Yeah, they got Tannen. Yeah, they got what's it, Marquez, Valdez, Stanley. They're not in that dude's class.
Hmm.
But yet this dude is
Hmm.
still at the top of his game. You know when Nuke Hopkins was in on the Houston Texans, you knew the ball was going to him, and they still couldn't stop it.
Hmm. Hmm.
And that's what makes me sick to my stomach when I see guys like a Julio, guys like a Kyle Pitts. Like for some reason, we still can't scheme these guys to the point where they can make like a legit impact in terms of getting six on the board.
Right.
It just pisses me off like every time I see
You
that.
know, another thing, I'm thinking about this right now. When we
Yeah.
talk about the big plays that happened this season with Kyle Pitts or Cordell Patterson, just off of natural ability of just getting upfield, just sprinting and just going,
Mm-hmm.
throwing a 9 route and just throwing a fade. We've seen that
Mm-hmm.
a lot with Kyle Pitts, which is good. Now imagine now him getting the timing down where he's able to run a comeback or like
Yeah.
or a hitch route. Like there was times where it was an obvious third downs that
Mm-hmm.
we was in, and we went up top with Kyle Pitts, where in a situation we could just play the sticks more. Where it's like a lot of teams know we're doing that's all we're doing, going up top. He's a 50-50, 50-50. But it's like now
Yeah.
imagine if we just break it down, get more crafty with Kyle Pitts routes and get his timing down with Matt Ryan, he's going to be even more dangerous. That's just
Mm-hmm.
him at the receiver position, you know. So
Yeah. I
that's
think
one
like
thing to
with
look at as well. Big jump.
yeah, and when you talk about hitch routes and comebacks, those are chemistry routes. That's what I call them.
Yes. Yep.
Like
Absolutely.
you have to know like when your receiver is about to about to stop his feet at that 10 or 11 or wherever exactly like he needs to stop. It's like that ball is going to be out, and it's just knowing the fact of where your man's going to stop. When you come back, that ball is going to be out. As soon as you go into your break, that ball is going to be there. That comes with
Hmm.
over time and chemistry. And Matt Ryan and Kyle Pitts is definitely going to believe like during this off season they're going to definitely work on that. Um, he has chemistry with Russell Gage, so I believe that we're going to resign. We're definitely going to resign him and CP. I know that's probably like the top of their list and whatnot. But yeah, I'm gonna move on to like another
Yeah.
topic. I know I don't have it on here or anything like that, but I want you to particularly talk about some of these games. You know, we
Oh
only
yeah.
got
Yeah.
two. We only got two. So we got Bengals and Chiefs, and we got like matters like 40. We got 49ers and who's in that? Who's actually the
Rams,
49ers and
49ers, Rams,
who's it? Pack?
and 49ers,
49ers and Rams. Yeah,
Rams,
49ers and Rams. Yeah.
49ers, Rams, and Cincinnati and Chiefs. So yeah, we could
Okay.
break this
Cincinnati
stuff
and
down.
Chiefs,
Which
man. Like break it down and talk to me about the Cincinnati Bengals and the Chiefs. And if you're a Chiefs fan, you need to be on upset alert, man.
so now when
You need
it
to be
when
on
it comes
upset
to the
alert.
Bengals, and with Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and Nixon, what they're doing is amazing, and nobody expect them to go this far at all.
Mm-hmm.
And going starting from the first season, I mean from the first game of the season when they were talking about Jamar Chase dropping balls and stuff like that, saying he can't catch and all this and that, compared to what he's doing now, is it is good for them to see. And congrats to the Cincinnati Bengals fans for sure. I know it's well deserving. They've been waiting a long time to be in this position. I don't think the Bengals defense would be able to keep up with Kansas City offense,
Mm-hmm.
honestly. And the amount of pressure, because I believe it's going to be a high scoring game.
Yeah.
And who knows, can Joe Burrow consistently apply that pressure and expose Kansas City defense going touchdown from touchdown to touchdown to touchdown? Um, I don't see that happening as much. So I'll give that game to Kansas City. Kansas City has been in this situation before, and who knows, this ceiling might be a little too high for Joe Burrow and these guys, you know. But at
Mm.
the same time, they have been exposed to this since college, you know, and that's
Mm-hmm.
why they got Jamar Chase. They've been playing at a high level, you know, in front of national TV. They've been doing this for a long time, so we'll see how that goes. But I got Kansas City coming out with the win on that one, just based off of experience and being in the situation before and taking control over the game. And then
All
I'll
right.
let you go. Then we go to NFCF.
Yeah. Well, first I gotta address the 499 from D Sloan. What's good,
Appreciate
brother?
that, man.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it. D Sloan says, if we end up parting ways with Ridley, we better get a player who can contribute in a first round pick. Also, Cincinnati is my hometown. Go Bengals. All right.
That's what's up, man. You gotta come on in, man. You gotta talk your stuff, man.
Yeah, that's on that say it with your chest, man. But he's saying that if we part with Ridley, we need to get a player who can contribute and a first round pick. Now, Splashcast says you're not getting a first for Ridley. I disagree. I think you can, but I think, like I said, we got a second for Julio, and Julio's been you want to say, like, if Julio's been a little injury prone throughout his career, he has. Julio's not known for his touchdown. He wasn't. But his on name value, we got a 2 for him. We got a 2 for, like I said, we got a 2 for Mohamed Sanu. But do I believe that a young Calvin Ridley can be, if not better than Mohamed Sanu and on the same level as a Julio in the right system? Maybe. But I know Philadelphia needs a goddamn wide receiver, though, outside of Devontae Smith, because he ain't it. Not by himself. He's not that guy. He's not that guy by himself. So, just saying, just to address that. Now, to go back to Bengals and Chiefs. All right. This game it's going to specifically revolve around one man, because you can see exactly how this team just lacks a sense of direction without Tyrann Mathieu on the field.
Mm-hmm.
You saw Davis score 4 touchdowns, breaking a record.
Yeah,
my man scored 4 touchdowns, and it was basically because of lackluster run. I mean, he broke somebody's ankles on route running, but the safety is supposed to pick up the slack in case that happens. Sorensen ain't that guy. I'm sorry, Sorensen is not that dude. Okay, if Tyrann Mathieu is if he comes through concussion protocol, I more so have the Chiefs in a shootout. Because I don't know if Joe Burrow has enough. Can make enough plays. They can make this game ugly because they have a decent running game. But yeah, they got Joe Mixon, and they can make it nasty if you want to. The Chiefs are, their defense has been playing well, but I wouldn't want Joe Burrow to sit back, 40, 50 times, because you saw what happened, last game where he got sacked almost like 9 times. If you have any kind of respect for this man and how his career can develop long term, you don't want him sitting back there like 40, 50 times with that leaky offensive line. I'm sorry.
Right.
But do I believe that they have a chance? Yes. Do I believe that they're scared? No. I mean, this team, like, they're playing with so much confidence right now. It's not even funny, man. And they believe that they can go toe to toe, and they believe they got the horses to go toe to toe with anybody. Like, they go like 3 deep at receiver before we even get to CJ Uzama, before we even get to Joe Mixon that can come out the back. They got Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and they got Tyler Boyd. Those some big dudes, man. And if you ain't got the corners that could cover them, it's gonna be GGs for you. So you gotta figure some stuff out. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And defensively for them too. I know they got
Hendrickson.
I was his name. Hendrickson. Yeah, there you go.
Trey Hendrickson. And Sam Hubbard is on the other side,
Yeah, he was that was a good pickup for them, that played a big part of them. And I guess Ricardo Allen played a big part too.
Oh man.
I didn't have to say that, but that was just a joke. That was just a joke. Good for him to be in that situation too.
Jesse Bates. Jesse Bates is another one.
Yeah.
So that feeds into my thing where if you believe that Kyle Hamilton is your guy, and you have a Jesse Bates or something like that, you can afford to be a little bit more aggressive with some of your play calling because you have the corners and the safeties to make up for that. So Jesse Bates is nothing to sneeze at, man. But he's gonna have his hands.
Yeah, we lost Kev, but we're gonna keep going. But for the most part, until he gets back, Cincinnati is gonna play a good fight. Who do you guys got in for this game? Who you guys got? I know we lost you, but yeah, I was just telling everybody, tell me who you guys got besides Cincinnati and the Chiefs. So you got the Chiefs, right?
Oh man. If Matthew plays tomorrow, I got the Chiefs. I know I'm hedging my bets here. But
you'll be terrible on FanDuel right now.
I would. But you know what's crazy though? For the sake of how exciting these playoffs have been, damn, I love to see the Cincinnati Bengals in the Super Bowl. Just
Then,
for
yeah,
just for the sake of just seeing something new,
right, yeah,
Just,
exactly. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. That's why I
yeah,
wanted the Bills to get in too, but
right.
Bills and Green Bay. I originally wanted that, but they both disappointed. So
Can you
it's
imagine
all
the
right.
Bills and that fan base, in LA going through tables over there?
Right. So moving on to NFC.
Yeah.
So who you got for NFC with the Rams and 49ers?
Oh man, yeah. I'm sorry, man, but I don't trust Jimmy G, and I'm hoping on Odell is having a hell of a season, and he's proving all his doubters wrong. And I would love for him to slay that demon, because the last time that he was in the playoffs, he had such an awful game, and that was due to him and his boys looking like they was on a Boys to Men cover with Trey Songz and them when they was on the boat. You remember that when
Mm-hmm.
he went on the boat in Miami right before
Yeah,
like that Green Bay game?
and everybody was roasting him.
Yeah. Um, I actually got the Rams, like, for the second year in a row. The home team is going to be hosting the
That's
Super
crazy.
Bowl. They made all these trades. They got rid of Jared Goff because he wasn't that guy. They did get them to a Super Bowl, but they believed that he couldn't get them back just off of talent alone, off of arm talent alone. They went out and they got Matthew Stafford. They went out and they traded for Jalen Ramsey. They went out and they got Von Miller. They went out and got these guys, and they went out and traded for when Robert Woods went out. Like, one thing I could appreciate about their GM, he's like, yo, damn the draft picks. It's like, I'm
They
going to
gotta
get
pull.
guys
They're gonna
that's
pull a trigger.
established.
Right. Right.
That dude is like, I'm gonna go get guys that's like established, guys that you guys think are trash, that's probably like breaking down and whatnot. And I'm gonna put guys around Aaron Donald because we believe that he's getting double and triple teams. So we got to get guys around him that could go rush the passer too.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
Mm-hmm.
okay. I don't mind. I don't mind that at all. There's teams that want to build through the draft, like it seems like what we do. And there's teams
Mm-hmm.
that's like, yo, we gotta go for it, man. We gotta
But
we
at the end
gotta
of the
star on
day,
the defensive
that's
line.
an all-star. That's an all-star team. I was about to say all-star defense, but that's close to an all-star team. When
It
you think
is.
about, you see how Cam Akers, he's healthy, he's fresh. Like he got fresh legs
Yeah.
under him right now, and he looks amazing. You know what I
That
mean?
dude's a
And
bionic
then Cooper
man, man.
Kump, Cooper Kump and Odell, that really is a good look.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be bad on the Rams if they don't win. Like it would look really bad, like really, really, really
Yeah.
bad. So they have no
They're
choice
gonna have
but
to
to make
gut
it to
that
the Super
team.
Bowl.
Yeah.
Exactly. They have no choice but to get it done. When you're making all those signings and stuff like that, you got to get it done.
Mm-hmm.
But when you also think about it, this is also a rematch between the 49ers and the Rams because they played for the last game of the season just so they can get to the
Mm-hmm.
playoffs. And the
Yeah.
49ers was able to get it done. So now the
Mm-hmm.
49ers and Debo, they might think they could do it again. But I know the Rams, I think it's going to be I think the Rams probably might blow them out, honestly, depending if Kyle Shanahan got something up his sleeve for real, because all you really got to do is shut down Debo Samuel, in my opinion. Because
Yeah. I
Debo,
mean, I am
he's
sorry.
able to show up in the running game, a little bit in the passing game. That's usually towards the second half. He gets a little
Mm-hmm.
hot with Debo, but I don't
Mm-hmm.
think that's going to save them. I think the 49ers defense is going to have to play a big game to stop the Rams offense, to make this a game, period. Just the 49ers defense is going to carry this game. I'll tell you that now.
It's gonna come down to this, because we know the 49ers front seven is good. Like,
Yeah.
they're if not nasty. The defensive line is one of the best in the league. But what I want to say, you know, is this, because Jonte Rozier said, the Rams haven't beaten the 49ers since 2016. All those stuff goes out the window. I know they say that stuff a lot, but this is the different Rams team, and it looked like these guys are going for it. The question is that I would question everybody is like, which quarterback do you trust more? Matthew Stafford, or do you trust Jimmy Garoppolo? Because Jimmy
Mm-hmm.
Garoppolo almost gave that game away. They should have beat the Cowboys by 30 last week. Honestly, I'm putting out there like Jimmy Garoppolo literally kept this team in the game. Not his team in the game. He kept the
Mm-hmm.
Dallas Cowboys in the game from literally embarrassing that team last week.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's that guy. I can't wait till my boy Trey get his shot. You know, like to work in that offense and whatnot. Kyle Shanahan is going to scheme his running backs. He's going to scheme his receivers open. That's what he does. That's what he is. But when it comes down to it, will that 49er secondary be able to stop that, you know, that three-headed monster? That first of all, Cooper Kupp is playing at a different type of level. That dude is like freaking Super Saiyan or something like that, man. That dude is playing at some different type of level, man. And he was playing against like a pretty good Tampa Bay, and I'm talking about the safeties like Antoine Winfield and I forgot the other dude's name and whatnot. But look, it's Cooper Kupp, it's Odell Beckham Jr., and it's Van Jefferson. In case you forgot, you know, like if you try to lock those dudes down, Van Jefferson can beat you deep as well. And if you sit there, you forget about that. Tyler Higbee, you know, all he does is just catch first downs. He reminds me of Austin Hooper a lot. Like just somebody that does his job and he just gets first down. And you have a two-headed monster if you want to go with Sony Michel and you want to go with Cam Akers. Cam Akers basically kept, you know, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the game last week too. So he just needs to hold on to the ball. So when it comes down to it, I got the Rams winning, you know, I think they play Sunday, right?
Yeah, they're tomorrow. So you got the Rams, I got the Rams too, man. We're on the same page here. They're moving forward, most likely Super Bowl. Obviously there's a chance Cincinnati could do something, but you know, I think most likely the Cincinnati and Rams, and I think the Rams could get it done, possibly winning the Super Bowl. And I wouldn't be mad with that. I'll be honest with you.
With the Rams?
Yeah, if the Rams are supposed to win the Super Bowl, I wouldn't be.
They better.
I wouldn't be mad with that. They have no, you know what I'm saying? Because with that roster and what you have on paper compared to what we have on paper, it's a totally different team. So it's just like with that experience and with those vets, you know, just Aaron Donald and Von Miller alone, and you want to add on Jalen Ramsey, like, come on, that alone, just like, come on, bro. So
that's what I'm saying, man. Like the Rams got to do it this year because they're going to gut that team next year. Okay, so if they don't do it now, then damn it, win. Okay, because everything is not going to play out the way it does this year. There's going to be a lot more healthy teams next year. I mean, they're in the NFC West, so that's not a cakewalk in its own either. You know, like we know that Kyler Murray's going to have experience from playing in the playoffs, like with that god awful game that he played. Like these teams are going to get better, you know, next year. So there's teams that actually put these things and put all the chips on the table. It's like if you're going to go and do it, you got to do it now. You're not built you're built for right now. You're not built for, you know, down the road and whatnot. You're just not. So if you're gonna you're gonna hamstring your team with losing draft picks and what, I don't even know how many draft picks these dudes have this year. But if you're a Rams fan, don't even bother watching the draft. Don't. And I don't know what you guys. I don't know when y'all picking it. Like first, second, third. I don't know when y'all picking, man. But we got some Q&A. We're gonna go to some Q&A because we run along and whatnot. So Achilles Bill says, I want to hear others' opinion on Felipe Franks. Are the Falcons developing their QB of the future already? Dude looks the part.
Okay, I want to know, Achilles. No, it's okay. I want to know, be specific on how does he look the part. I know there's times we've seen a little bit of him in preseason a little bit, and I know he stepped up on playing special teams, and there's times we've seen him line up at receiver. You know, I could see why you may see that by him being athletic quarterback, what he can do with his legs and stuff. But at the end of the day, is that really going to get us where we need to be? Can he make the right throws? Is he accurate enough to do that? And I guess we'll find out if, who knows, it could be Josh Rosen. I don't know. I'm just saying it, just put it out there because these are two quarterbacks right now who's behind Matt Ryan, and they're going to be learning behind him. So they're both young guys. So we'll see how that pans out in free agency, if we keep them or not, you know? And yeah.
Man, I mean, since we're going to just go outside of storylines, like what, Jonte Rozier saying and whatnot, we're going to go like that. How about this? You keep Felipe Franks as Matt Ryan's backup for at least another 2 years. By that time, Deshaun Watson's all that crap will be will be taken care of.
Yeah.
You trade him for like a third round pick. Bring that ball boy back to
Back
Atlanta as
home.
your
Yeah.
quarterback for the season. If you want to talk, if we want to do storylines and whatnot, like you can go ahead and do it like that. But
Right.
realistically, um, I don't think that if Felipe Franks was the quarterback of the future, I don't think they'll be lining him up at like tight end or something like that. I don't think they would just have him like out there, just like putting his
Right.
body, on the line
Mm-hmm.
he's like a gadget guy, and
Yeah,
he'll
he's a
be no
gadget
different
guy. So
than
no way.
yeah, different than Taysom Hill,
Right. Right.
so he has, I mean, like he has a strong arm and everything like that, but I just don't think that he's like that guy as of yet. But he is a rookie. He has time to get seasoned and everything. But I just don't see him. He's not that guy, as of yet. And if he's not that guy in the next year or two, then I can see the Falcons getting real aggressive and probably either trading for like a young up and coming, quarterback,
Mm-hmm.
or whatever, like Deshaun Watson. If this thing happens to subside or whatever like that, I can see them doing that, or I can see them like drafting like his heir apparent, maybe like an Arch Manning if we have like a really bad year or something like that, like hedging their bets and really like doing a Julio Jones trade and going up and get probably like Arch Manning or something like that. But yeah, let me see. We got another one here. JND Truck. What's up, fellas? I've been asking this for years. Should the Falcons trade back to acquire more draft picks? You've been asking that for years, JND?
Well, I'm
Oh, no,
saying we
man, I'm
got we
teasing
got
you,
a new
brother.
regime now. So we'll see.
Yeah.
I mentioned that earlier. I think that's a good question. Last year we stayed where we were at with Terry Fontenot and Arthur Smith. So who knows what they would do this year if a team really may want a guy at number 8 where we're at, and if it makes sense for us to, let's say, get a first, if it's a first round, or and we trade back and we're still able to get the guy that we want, and if it makes sense, then so be it. But I don't see us right now where we're at with us building for the future right now. I don't see us moving at all at 8, and for us to
Yeah.
get the best player available, because right now we definitely need some talent for sure. A day one starter, for sure. Defensive player, we want to speak that into existence. We need a defensive player, um,
Yeah.
and we'll go from there.
um. Yeah. So the question is that should we trade back? And that's the thing. It's like people trade back when they're solidified at certain spots on their team. Like it's like, okay, we're established on the O line, we're established on the D line. Like you have to have some sort of continuity at different positions on the team. When you have as many holes and as that we do, it's like you have to go, and I know being the fact that I'm kind of talking out of both sides of my mouth, because it's like, okay, well, we have so many holes, why not trade back? But being the fact that there's playmakers and day one starters and guys that could really make an impact, like that's going to be within the first 10 picks, it's like you have
Mhm.
to go get it. Terry Fontenot is the type of guy that's going to go get, like the best player available at the position that he is, unless it's like one of these old world talents that he has to go up and get. Like the difference between, and I'm gonna ask you, Rich, the difference between Kayvon Thibodeau and a guy like David Ojabo or Aiden Hutchinson is what? Is it minor, or is it like this, or is it like this, like the type of talent? Or are you kind of like in the
Um,
same,
I would say
this,
it's like a little bit like in between, a good chunk in the middle,
mm-hmm,
because on film doesn't lie. When it
mm-hmm,
comes to a Jabo, you got like the size, like the height and weight and stuff, like the length and stuff like that. That plays a factor into certain things. But at the end of the day, talent is talent. What you're putting out there on the
mm-hmm.
film is what you're putting out there. That's all I can say. But Aiden Hutchinson and Thibodeau, I could say the margin is real thin. When you add a Jabo into the mix, it's a little like slightly there. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So
So you saying
that's
Ojabo is
all I
like,
can say.
is he raw? Is he about as raw as AO was when he was coming out?
I'll say a Jabo has a little bit more skill on far
Okay.
as on pass rush, on him planning his moves. Like I've
Yeah.
seen on his film, Ojabo loves the spin move. So when you're
Hmm.
doing a spin move on a D-line on a pass rush, typically that's planned, but sometimes that's just you naturally doing it or just reacting. Like Jabo knows he has a pass rush plan. He's not Tack McKinley just bull rushing you every play, or Steven Means bull rushing you every play with no pass rush move at all. If we
Yeah.
draft Ojabo is gonna come at least with a game package plan or some tools under his belt on knowing how to uh counter some moves as well. Like he's good with his hands and he has raw talent at that, so it's good to see that.
You
So
know.
compared with Ogundeji, he had a little bit of moves, but it wasn't as much. So yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Dean Pease said this. He said when you're drafting like defensive guys, he said sometimes you just got to go with guys that just have God-given talent outside of just like scheme. Like guys that just know the game. They know they have pass rush moves, and just like you just mentioned, I'm just basically reiterating what you just said.
Playmaking
This
ability.
is guys.
Hmm.
Yeah, did they necessarily need a Terrell Suggs? At the time that they did not. But they said they let Terrell Suggs do what he do. There was times where Terrell Suggs was supposed to drop in the coverage. He did not. Okay, what he did was go get the quarterback because it's something that he saw. Like remember Dean Pease coached a guy. His name was James Harrison. Okay, he knows how to get like these guys are just like God given. They have the God given talent and whatnot. And guys like James Harrison, so yes, they come like once every lifetime or whatever like that. But Dean Pease is trying to articulate to us the type of guys that he likes. He doesn't want guys that just kind of just like you said, run into the tackle and try to bench press him all the time. We already had a guy like that. We had Tack.
Exactly.
Okay.
Those are the yes men. When
Yeah.
you talk about it, and I was a player. When you talk about because as a player, you're the one that's on the field. You're the one that's seeing everything. You're the one that's doing the action. You're playing. So there's times you may recognize something that you may have to abandon your assignment at times.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Hmm.
To make the play. But when you're playing at a high level, NFL, D1, if you're wrong, you're gonna rip your ass completely. They're gonna rip you for it. But at the same time, if you make the play and you abandon your assignment, then we
Hmm.
love you. You know what I'm saying? So like
Yeah.
like what he's saying is raw talent, ability. So it's like if you slip inside, even though your assignment is to contain the quarterback, and
Yeah.
you go inside and you make the sack, but let's say you go inside and he gets out of the pocket, it's yes, you're gonna get in trouble. So it's just it's a hard for football players. That's just what we go through. So that's
Yeah.
how it is.
Yeah.
Raw talent. Moving on. What we
when it
got?
comes down to it, when it comes down to it, like raw talent about seeing things too. As opposed to like what you would scheme. Like I was supposed to cover like the deep third, but I saw the X coming on a dig, so I jumped it. So I knew it. So that's
Exactly.
the thing.
That's
Like
that's that's
that's from
part of
my
it.
eyes as a safety, as a former safety. It's like I know I'm supposed to
Right.
be like a little bit like 5 or 10 yards deeper than it was, but I saw that my man got beat and he's running a dig route, so I jumped it.
There you
So
go.
that's where it goes. Like sometimes it's about like teaching, and some coaches don't want to teach all the time. Sometimes it's like you have to come with something in your tool belt already, intelligence. So, Jameis Gilliam says, "Will we make the playoffs next season?" I'll start off and say, "Hell to the yeah. Yes, we are making the playoffs next year, and it's just because of two particular guys that was mainstays in our division are going. I do not trust Sam Darnold. I'm not worried about Carolina too much. I mean, I believe that we gave Carolina that game, earlier this year. I believe that, like they didn't go win it, like we lost it. So honestly, I think it's our division for the taking. Outside of Matt Ryan, we are pretty much relatively young, and if we continue to build and keep this thing rolling, it's like this division is going to be in an Atlanta Falcons chokehold for like the next couple of years. And yes, to answer your question, yes, I'm putting out here. Yes, we will make the playoffs next season. What do you think, Rich?
I think we definitely have a chance. Just being with this extra wild card pick and stuff like that, we could definitely sneak in there. Just like how this season was, they're actually was a chance for us to make it to the playoffs this year. Let's not be oblivious to that, you know.
Yeah.
So so who knows how next season could play out with teams is losing and we have the same scenario again. So and we easily could have won two more games this season alone, easily. So we could have won 9 games this season and we could have had a chance to make it to the playoffs. So that's how things just play out. As we add on more talent to the roster, like we know the roster is consistently going to be evaluated and they're going to add more talent. I think we will get better and we will have a chance. But let's say if we don't go next year, you gotta always play, you know, gotta address everything. If we don't make it to the playoffs next year, by year 3 with this new regime, best believe it, it's on. It's on. Yeah, year 3, we definitely gonna, yeah, we're in.
I'm glad you took the positive route on that, because you know what I'm saying right now? Yo, Terry Funk and Arthur Smith are pissed right now because they know if things didn't shift a certain way or whatever like that, we could have been a playoff team. If we would have had a competent punter in Tampa Bay, we would have beat them in Tampa Bay. Okay, I'm saying that right now. We gave that game away because I don't know if it was Dustin Colquitt or that dude whose last name starts with an N that I can't even pronounce. That dude, when he botched that punt, like he basically set us up for particular failure. That's why another one of the guys that we need to resign is Thomas Morstead. Because that dude was invaluable when it came to like when our defense started playing well, is when our special teams started playing well. And it was all attributed to him. Okay, so let's talk about like the way our special teams started like up in the ante when Allison was like hit sticking dudes like in San Francisco and whatnot. First play of the game, like he made dude fumble and we ran it back. Like there's impact that's happening on our special teams as well. There's something here. That's why I'm thinking that they're going to be super aggressive. They're going to go to Grady. They're going to go to Matt Ryan and say, look, we're going to extend you guys because we have a plan and we're going to execute that plan right now. We're going to alleviate a lot of things that we're going to have in terms of being cash strapped. And that's going to at least give us at least like I think 25, if not more like almost like $30 million like under the cap. Okay. And this goes into JND Truck, like what he asked, what free agent offensive lineman do you want us to target? I'm gonna answer that first one and then I'm gonna get to your second one, JND. That's a good question, man. I appreciate that. I believe that Jacksonville is not going to re-sign Andrew Norwell, or he might walk just for the sake of it's Jacksonville. Okay? He wants to see like what he can get on the open market. He is 29, 30 years old or whatever, but he is, I mean, this dude is solid at the left guard position. He is solid. And you know that when we had Andy LeBeatrice and he was solid at that left guard position, you knew between the left guard, we had Andy LeBeatrice and we had Alex Mack at those positions that we're struggling right now. You see what it's doing to our offense. If you get Andrew Norwell, and if you don't know who this guy is, he's legit. He's solid. He's not somebody that's going to wow you. He's not like a he's not like a Quentin Nelson or nothing like that. He's not going to like jump off your screen or nothing like that. But he's solid. He's like an Andrew LeBeatrice. If you get him and you plug him in day one, you got something right there. Now, honestly, I believe that going back to the draft, I think we're either going to draft Lindstrom or we're going to draft Tyler Linderbaum out of Iowa. We're going to get one of those two guys because, again, Matt Hennessy is their guy, okay? It's not Terry Fontenot's guy. That's a previous regime. I'm not even going to mention his name. I'm just going to say TD, okay? That's their guy. Lindenbaum or Lindstrom, that's going to be our guy. Even a Drew Dahlman, but I don't know how much Drew Dahlman is going to make that jump from a year 1 to year 2 with a lack of snaps or something like that. But I believe like a Lindenbaum or a Lindstrom, you could plug in there year 1. I think he'll be okay. Is $5 million a year too much for Gage compared to what these guys are asking for? Yo, Devontae Adams is asking for the bag, right? He's asking for the bag right now. So I think Devontae Adams is going to the Raiders. Okay, he's going to ask for the bag. He's going to ask for at least like $30 million a year. 5 is really, that's peanuts, honestly. To somebody like a Gage, like I think that we kind of shortchange him on that.
I think Gage is worth a little some money, compared to where he got picked at and what he was able to do for us. He was a special teams guy. He was a guy who literally climbed up the ladder within the Falcons organization. So I think he's worth a good amount of money. I'm not gonna get too much in the numbers, but give him a little bread. Give him a little bag. You know what I'm saying? He
Yeah.
deserves it.
I think like if he wants five is fine. But there's some other wide receivers I believe that we can get on the cheap. And personally speaking, there's one on the Jets right now that I am totally in love with, bro. Like I like this dude, Denzel Mims, and they don't
Oh,
know what to
Mims.
do with him. Yeah,
They
they don't
don't.
know
But the
what to
thing
do with
is with
that dude.
Mims, I guess he been fighting an injury since he got into the league. So
Yeah,
we'll see what we do with Mims. But who knows? Who knows?
but
Who knows?
if
What other questions we got
um,
here?
yeah, yeah. Right now, Noah Tyndall said we face the NFC West and AFC North next year. We still good enough for the playoffs.
Let me bring up some of those teams because I seen that. I know we got the Cardinals, we got the 49ers, we got the Browns, we got the Steelers, we got Chicago, we got the Chargers, Seattle, Ravens, Cincinnati, and the Rams. That's you know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's pretty good. So
yeah.
alone, when we're talking about we're gonna see Kyler Murray at some point, that little munchkin over there, that little midget. Yo, man, he's dangerous with his legs. So when you talk about a path rush, if you can't get to him and we give him
Yeah,
a field day and just dropping back, just giving him time to throw, and it won't
yeah.
be easy. It won't be easy.
But even their team is not going to look the same,
Yeah.
like after this year. We don't know like if Buda Baker's going to be the same like coming back and everything like that. So it depends on like when we play them, you know. But
Yeah. Hmm.
the NFC North, I think it's more like like more flash than substance. Because one thing we don't know if A-Rod is going to be back on the Green Bay Packers or is Jordan Love going to be playing? Is he going to be starting? We don't know if Devontae Adams is going to be in a Green Bay Packer uniform. Like he said,
We
he
don't know
actually
if Russell
spoke. He
Wilson
stated,
either.
you don't know if Russell Wilson's going to be there. Like basically Devontae Adams said he would like to play with his college teammate who happened to be Derek Carr, and that's on the Las Vegas Raiders. He could be going. Okay, you just said it. You said Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson is talking about he wants to be up out of there. Like he can't go. One of the teams that he said he wanted to go to was Chicago, but they got Justin Fields. So I don't know about that, but he wants to be out. Question is like where would he go? You know.
Hmm.
I don't know where he would necessarily go. Probably, I don't know if he would go to Miami or something like that. But Kyle Murray is tall and he's an average fifth grader, and he's a beast. you know,
Yeah, we get a few more questions in here.
you can go.
Then we wrap it up a little bit. So just throwing your questions. Just throwing your questions, guys, and this definitely was a great show. Appreciate the love. Appreciate the comments, man. You guys were active today in this chat. Let's keep it going. So,
Yeah,
mhm.
yeah. Like we're gonna wrap this up in like another like 5 or so minutes. Get all your Q&As out there. Get your questions out there, so we could answer them and whatnot. I know you guys are really excited about the draft and whatnot. If you want to still talk about draft moves, we can go that route. It's all good, man. It's been a while since we've been on, so we getting over the king stop right now, man.
Yeah, man, we're getting it out. And plus, it's a big snow day for us right now.
Oh yeah, we got like what you got? You got 10, 12 over there, right? 10 or 12 inches
Yeah,
where you at?
yeah, we got a good amount of inches right now.
Bruh,
Yep.
man, I ain't looking forward to shoveling that shit right now, bro. Like, I
Yeah,
ain't
my
looking
my
forward to it.
my parents ringing me down right now. I gotta get the shoveling soon, man. Get my nice workout in. Good workout in
Yo,
for the day.
I ain't looking forward to it, man. But it seemed like the snow would stop. For those of y'all down in Atlanta and Georgia and whatnot, I seen a lot of y'all was kind of happy to see some snow. Damn it! If you from the Northeast, you don't hear nothing about snow. Okay, you don't hear not a damn thing about snow. I wish I was where y'all was at, man, because it's like what, like 10, 12 degrees right now with that
Hmm.
snow. But anyway, everything ATM. We
Yes,
love this question,
sir.
man. We love this question. I personally love this question. Do we? You put we. Do we keep Dion or Foye? I have a very unpopular answer to that, and it has to do with your boy Rich, because I like your boy now, man. He's on my list, man. So
I
I'm gonna go
know.
ahead. You answer that, man.
I'll say we keep both of them, both of their asses, man, with Michael Walker, in behind them as well. I know a lot of us want to see Michael Walker on the field, and he will. He definitely will get more playing time. We all know it's important to have crucial depth. I don't know how I got to emphasize depth on your team, for each position. You know what I'm saying? So that's very important to have on your team. God forbid somebody gets hurt, something like that. We know we have an automatic guy to plug in there. And yeah, man, we keep both of them, man. Just keep it going.
Well,
That
you
was
know
easy.
me, man. You know how I feel. You know how I feel about that, and your
Dion,
boy,
yeah.
your boy Matt's gonna come with a very, very unpopular opinion. Why? Because we're cash strapped. Why? Because DPs have actually spoke up one of these dudes, and he's actually like man. Let me tell you something, man. I think that Dean Pease is absolutely in love with Foyer Luakon, man. Like he just speaks this dude's name in like anything that has to do with him being smart, being like doing the right things. Like that's why they chose him to be the Mike. There's a reason why you get chosen to be the Mike of the defense, man. You know that, man. Like you've done it. There's something
Yeah.
about when you have that green dot on your helmet. Like they look at you like, yo, you're the guy. Like
Yep.
you're the guy. Okay. Having said that, like I said, this is unpopular, man, because at this point, I think we're trying to transition from the old regime to the new. And does do does Debo fit Dean Pease type of guy? Is he that type of guy? It's a legit question to ask, honestly.
Right.
It's a legit
Right.
question.
Right.
It's a legit question to ask. Like, is he like our type of guy, or is he like because of monetary position, like we have to keep him or whatever? Fortunately for him, he was dealing. I mean, he was dealing with a shoulder injury and whatnot. Personally, I don't want to take shots at the dude, but maybe stop tackling with your shoulder. How about that? But
Mm-hmm.
but what I would like to say is I'm definitely if I had to choose because it says the question was Debo or Foye.
Okay,
I'm
I
keeping
get you.
Foye, man. Yeah, I'm
You're
keeping
right.
I'm keeping
You're right.
Foye all day, man. If I had a choice,
You're right.
this man is becoming because okay. Let me get a second. Let me get a quick second with this. Okay, a moment of madness is coming again, real quick, and I just want to let you guys know, all 54 of y'all in the chat. I want to let y'all know one thing. Remember how we was spoiled on Debo, and I spoke to Mad Mike about this on Twitter, and we're a prisoner of the moment when we're Atlanta Falcons fans, and whether you're an Atlanta fan of any team, like we're a
Mm-hmm.
prisoner of the moment, and we saw what Debo was capable of playing that Mike position, how much of a playmaker he was, and we got spoiled over that. Okay, he spoiled over the fact of like he would get tackling, he'll be sacking the quarterback. He was making timely interceptions and whatnot. He was an absolute clutch playmaker. He's playing
Mm-hmm.
another position right now. Okay, he's playing a position where he doesn't have to think. This is why I'm a little like soured on him, even though he was playing with the injury. That's why I'm a little hard on him because of I'm a little prisoner of the moment too. But with this new regime, it's like Ricardo Allen is gone, Vic Beasley is gone,
Yeah.
Keanu Neal is gone. Like all
Zach
those guys that represent
Wilson.
like that 2016 team that went to the Super Bowl and could not get the job done. And we have not been back since due to either a lack of mentality or whatever it was, but we could not get over the hump. And I have no idea why. Now, is it because we're a little light in the ass in a lot of positions? Maybe. But at this point right now, it's like Dean Pease and Arthur Smith are going to get their guys. And there's going to be some unpopular decisions that's going to be made. I didn't like that Matt Ganal and Hayden Hurst got released. But that's where we're at right now. I'm
Mm-hmm.
loyal to this, not a player no more. I'm
That's what
done
we
with
all
that.
are. Yeah.
I'm done with
Yeah.
that, man. So if it at a point that if Debo has to go so that we can get some draft picks and we can build this team, then so freaking be it. That's where it's got to be right now. That's where we have to be right now. You know, a lot of the players that we have fallen in love with, that we got jerseys of, and we like to play on Madden or whatever like that. It's done. It's done. Okay, we're moving forward. Atlanta Falcons Nation, Atlanta Falcons, Goodfellas, all that. Atlanta Falcons team, we're moving forward. Plain and simple. Okay. Yeah, man. So at that point, like I'm keeping for you. I know we had another question. Someone. Oh, okay. So JND in the truck. JND truck from deep. He says, "Do you think with C-Red liking tweets about getting traded that he's done playing for Atlanta?" Now, I know we answered this earlier, but we'll answer it again, man. I think he's done. I honestly think he's done. The reason, and I'm gonna tell you, JND, is that the reason why we haven't said anything and why Arthur Smith and Terry Fontenot hasn't said anything is to keep his trade value high. Because if they actually knew or they actually had a reason, like let's just say for the sake of argument that there's nothing wrong with Slide, that he just didn't want to play on the team anymore, and he just said like mentally, let's just go that route just for the sake of argument, okay? They didn't want to disparage his name because they knew they probably was going to move on from him because Arthur Smith and Terry Fontenot was like, you don't want to be here, then we'll do right by you and we'll trade you. For the sake of also for you, but also on prospective free agents and anybody that wants to play with us, it's like, okay, they do right by their team. Even though dude didn't want to play with them, they did right by him by not slamming him in the news or the media or anything like that. They didn't answer no questions. They just let it be. So that I think that's what they're, you know what I'm saying? Like that's their long game that they're thinking in their head. It's like, I don't want to sit there and like, I'm not going to like, you know, mess with this dude or whatever like that. It's like, we'll do right by you. We'll trade him. We'll trade you. You know, it may not be where you want to go, but you'll be out of here, like plain and simple, you know. So, what you think? I know we answered that, but
Nah, I'm saying, you got it, man. You hit the nail on the head, man. Like, I agree with you 100%, man.
Yeah. So, all right, we'll take one or two more questions, like get one or two more questions out there, and then unfortunately, like those that live on the Northeast, we got some shoveling to do before that joint turn to ice, bro.
Yeah, right. Got to beat that for sure.
Yeah, you already know how it is, man. I'm gonna put it like this, just like Goodfellas. If you live in the Northeast and you got hit by this monster storm, if you know, you know.
Okay. You know. You know.
That's right. You're gonna have to take an ice bath after this, man. But yeah, one or two more questions, and then we're done. I'll just hit you with something real quick before they This is one question for you. What you think? Like, is Tom Brady done?
You know, I would love to believe that, and I would love to say that, but I don't think Tom Brady is done at all. I think Tom Brady realistically have another 2 to 3 more years in him. The reason why I say that is because things are going to be different, being that if Leftwich, the offensive coordinator, gets hired and you see that team is starting to break up, I don't think it's going to be easy to re-sign everybody back again, being that you just lost. And I know Levante David, they had comments about it, and they were really bummed out about it, you know, because they really thought they had a chance. But I want Tom Brady to keep playing until we get our revenge, since what happened in 2016. And ever since that happened, we didn't uprise. We didn't live up to the occasion yet, going against Tom Brady. You know what I mean? And us getting our vengeance. So until that happens, then he can retire. Because I was one of those Falcon fans who was happy that Tom Brady came to the NFC South just so we can play him twice a year, just for that. You know what I'm saying? And he came to the NFC South for a reason too. He came to the NFC South. Okay, let me look what I can do here. Yeah, this is a weak division here. I can run this division, and that's where he thinks. And it's just like he did prove that. We're gonna give it to what's credit's due, and he is the GOAT. So I'm not gonna deny that either. So it's just like, why not play against the best competition? You know what I mean? And he's gonna bring the best out of the Falcons each time we play against him. So I don't think he's done yet, but realistically, I'll give it 2-3 more years. I think Tom Brady wants to make one more run for a Super Bowl, and that may happen within 2 to 3 years. Obviously, we don't want that to happen, but if he does win one more, God forbid, I think he may retire on that point. I see him like I have to compare him with LeBron in a sense of these are goats that have been playing within their sport for a long time, and I don't see them leaving no time soon either. So yeah.
You know what this reminds me of? Um, and it just reminds me of rest in peace, Kobe. Like Kobe knew
Yeah.
that it was time. Like he didn't want to become like like a caricature of himself. Like he didn't want to become
Mhm.
a joke. And that's why I'm worried about Brady that he'll play too long where he becomes like a joke. You know,
Mhm.
where it's just like it's not even like you'll be sitting there explaining it to your kid, like, man, you should have saw him back in the day. Like he was nasty back in the day.
Right.
I
Right.
think at this point, also what we don't realize a lot with a lot of these players is that their families take up a lot of sacrifice so that they're able to do what they do. Like
Mhm.
Brady's been doing this for 22 years, and he has missed. Like his son, Jack, is playing sports now. He lives in New
Wow.
York, and he's playing sports. And they
Wow.
have a house
Wow.
up here.
Okay.
And they're and his kids, like he's missed a lot of his kids. Like one day you're gonna wake up and you're gonna look up and you're gonna be like damn, like look at all the time that I missed.
Mhm.
Like his first of all, his wife like said, I think like 2 years ago or something like that, like she wanted him to be done because of concussions and everything like that. You saw Brady, he got hit up in his face, by
Yeah.
like Von Miller,
Yeah.
so at this point it's like I'm hoping that he walks off into the sunset the way Ben Roethlisberger did. Now I know, Achilles' Bill said time is driven by success. He is. I mean, he led the league in touchdowns and yards this year. But the thing is, like, you just don't want, I don't want him to get carried out the league. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right. Right.
I
Right.
don't want that. But
Until we
what
see
I
it
want,
happen, then I'll believe
yeah,
it. You know what I mean?
yeah,
But
yeah. That's the thing
yeah.
with him is like you don't know. Like we've been talking about this since almost like for about almost 4 or 5 years now. Is he done? But the way he's been talking, he's never talked like this before. Like there's like a
I didn't see.
finality in
Did
his
he say
voice.
recent stuff? I don't know. Like I don't
Yeah,
see him
like he was like he's
retiring
actually
like this.
considering because he said
It's
this. He
probably
said it's
maybe
time for my family. Hmm?
he's probably maybe considering that. Just I think the way how the season probably ended and stuff like that
Yeah,
was just him
like he was
building
kind of caught in the
guys. A
moment,
lot
right?
of right caught up in the moment, probably a lot. But I could see him at least doing one more year, 2 more years for sure. Just the simple fact that Ben Roethlisberger had his time,
Yeah,
and just to at least honor him, let him go out the right way, knowing going into the season this is going to be his last season. You know what I'm saying? So like, I would want that to happen at least for Tom Brady, for the NFL, just for everybody, because everybody would want to enjoy seeing that. Well,
yeah,
all the numbers, he got it. He did it. There's nothing more he can ask for. It is time for him to retire. I'm not going to deny that, but some people wouldn't want to see him leave yet.
yeah,
So just one more year off to at least to send him right. It's confirmed. The whole league knows, similar how it was with Ben, and send
yeah,
him off right. I think that would be good.
yeah, yeah. He just like to me, he don't seem like the type that he wants like a big old lavish like hey
Yeah, he probably
like
wouldn't.
this is it like I'm out like like they do in basketball like they have like a swan song and whatnot
Exactly. Exactly.
but honestly like in my own opinion like if this is it for him man you had a hell of a career you've made haters out of a lot of people a lot of fans and whatnot a lot of fans actually hate
Hmm.
you and have hated you since 2016
Yep.
but yeah, but at this point it's like I don't want to see it no more. Like at this point it's like since I've seen Ben Roethlisberger and I've seen Aaron Rodgers talking about it, I've seen Tom Brady talking about it. I've started looking at even our boy man and
Yeah,
how
man.
long
Right.
he has, and
Yeah.
that's gonna be a
He don't
sad
want to
day
go
in Atlanta.
nowhere.
I don't care what anybody say, bro. Like
Matt
he
Ryan
said he
doesn't
wants to
want to go
play for a
anywhere.
while.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
Matt
know, I
Ryan
know.
got easily
I
got
just
4 or 5 more years in his belt. And you talking about the guys, the top quarterbacks now, who's retiring right now. He came in the league what 3 to 5 years after them. So
mm-hmm.
he's a little. in that age mark younger than them. So he has
Well,
to. He's gonna want to
I
play
will
up
say this.
to their level too. And if Brady does
Yeah,
retire, I'll take it. Open division for us. That's it.
I'm gonna say this though. These guys had an offensive line in front of them. Matt didn't. You only got but so many hits of that in you, man. And as you age, like you start to
True,
walk
true,
around
true.
and you don't get up like a spring chicken on those Mondays, man. I remember Jerome Bettis said that. He said, I knew when it was time to go when I couldn't even walk down the stairs on a Monday, because I was getting my ass handed to me on Sunday. So
Right, right.
again, this goes back to the draft, this goes back to free agency and everything like that. This comes full circle, and this will be like our wrap up here. I'm gonna wrap this up right here by saying this.
Mhm.
If we don't get an offensive line, it does not matter who you put back there. Like their days will be numbered here in Atlanta. Okay, plain and freaking simple. If you want to have sustained success, you gotta address the trenches. Me and my boy Rich the Headhunter say this all the freaking time. If you don't address the trenches, it doesn't matter who you put there. You're either gonna get ran on, or you're gonna get your behind sacked all the freaking time. Look at Joe Burrow. They took the best player available. They got Jamar Chase. It just is what it is. He almost got killed last week. Okay? It is what it freaking is right now. Address the trenches. Get some guys, that's some nasty guys in front of Matt Ryan, and you will see him flourish down here. Plain and simple. That's all I got to say. Rich, you can wrap it up with this right now.
Man, this was a great show. Welcome back, good fellas, man. Off season is gonna be big. It's a lot for us to cover, a lot for us to go through. When it comes to, we'll have shows about free agency, the draft, that's coming. Stay tuned, stay locked in. Most importantly, stay safe out there. During this pandemic, stay healthy. It's not easy so far going into 2022, but we're gonna make the best of it. And love is love, man. God bless, man. Great show.
All right. So from Magnus, your boy Magnus, Rich the Headhunter, and our producer, Maggie T. Yo, we might be seeing y'all next week because my boy already talked about free agency and the draft. So you already got the juices flowing. Pause. That might start writing something, man. But yeah. So we see y'all later on the Goodfellas Morning Show. Peace.